Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and of course, continuing on, reviewing Halloweenish materials on the weekdays. And that's right, as was teased in the last review video, if any of you, of course, understood what I was teasing and such, well, as of now, my review is here. You read the title, you know exactly what the next Halloweenish film it is that I'm reviewing. And yeah, this would be considered a Halloweenish film. Heck, I mean, I recall at Spirit Halloween, they had a handful of merchandise of this one Halloweenish film. So yeah, so that's right, guys. I am finally reviewing from 1988. Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Yes. Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Wow. Now that I've finally seen this movie, it was quite interesting. Like, what more do I have to say? Because I didn't hate it. I think this actually turned out to be a pretty good film, and how these group of aliens, how they're done and portrayed, and, well, the fact that these group of aliens look like clowns. I'm pretty sure, yeah, because that's what they specifically look like. Like, it's not like they would dress up as clowns or something, but, yeah. But, because with the technology and gadgets that these aliens have, they're clownish stuff, but what they really do, oh yeah, because like from, say, the popcorn, the ray guns that they have and what they do, it has to do something with cotton candy, just all this wacky clown stuff that these aliens have, but they're very deadly and dangerous, and what they do to the victims that they kidnap and so on, just, yeah. And because just where the direction this movie goes, and it does, like, it's pretty interesting. And I gotta say, because this movie seemed to have a pretty good budget, and with the effects and the fact that the clowns / the aliens, they are aliens, but they look like clowns, alien clowns, however you prefer them, they're actually on screen, practical. And I tell you, because, looking at some of the practical creatures, like the aliens in this movie, or like, say, the gremlins from the Gremlins movies, Critters, if anybody remembers Critters, just any movie that has practical creatures, yeah, just still, to this day, look fantastic. And in this case, for Killer Klowns, really good. And by the way, I'm sure some of you would know that this is how the movie is specifically titled, with the word clown. With instead of a C, it's a K. And, well, because the title of my review, obviously, I have to spell it with a K. So, yeah. But, even with the subtitles and, whenever they say the word clown, it is with a C. But with the title of the movie, yeah, so... Yeah, but just overall, Killer Klowns from Outer Space, for me, it was not a disappointment. This was pretty interesting, and some certain things, I have a feeling that this may go in this direction and such, and some things I did not expect, like the ending to this movie, and, with what happens to some of the characters. But until I talk about that when I get there, but anyways... But yeah, again, overall, Killer Klowns from Outer Space, it's a pretty good, classic Halloweenish film from the late 80s. The fact that this came out the same year as other big movies of 1988. If you know, you know. Alright, but enough said. As always, read the description / the story. When teenagers, Mike and Debbie, see a comet crash outside their sleepy small town, they investigate and discover a pack of murderous aliens who look very much like circus clowns. There you go. They try to warn the local authorities, but everyone assumes their story is a prank. Meanwhile, the clowns set about harvesting and eating as many people as they can. It's not until they kidnap Debbie that Mike decides it's up to him to stop the clown's bloody rampage. Yeah. Yeah, so, and by the way, because, like, say from the director and the producers, like, the Scioto brothers? Is that how their name is pronounced? Their last name? Maybe, but, yeah, because one of the brothers had directed this. Steven Scioto? Again, if I am pronouncing that right. So, the Scioto brothers being responsible, yeah, because one of the brothers directing this, and the other being a producer, and yeah, so it's thanks to the Scioto brothers for bringing us Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You know, it's interesting because, you know, brothers who would be filmmakers and directors, like, say, the Coen brothers, and others, like, yeah, they always seem to, brothers who write and direct movies, it always, like, seems interesting, and just, if you get what I'm saying, but, you know, yeah, so, like, say, before the Coen brothers, or any other brothers that I can think of, there was the Scioto brothers. Again, if I am pronouncing that right, you know me sometimes, and you can correct me if I am possibly pronouncing that right. Scioto. I'm pretty sure I am. Okay, but getting into the film itself, yeah, because, first off, the location of, where this movie takes place, it's in Central California, a little quiet suburban town, which being called, Crescent Cove? Yeah, that sounds about right, Crescent Cove. So, the setting and location of this movie taking place in a small town in California, which being Crescent Cove. Yeah, because, well, getting into the movie itself, of course, and with some of the main characters that we see, well, one of the, first characters that we see, and yeah, because, God, was he a handful, and boy was he, and pardon my French, but it's true, but boy, was he an asshole of a cop. That being Curtis Mooney, being played by the late John Vernon. A good actor, of course, and he's done a lot of other great films, and he, well, great, because I did check to see, like, the other movies that he had done, and I do know that he was in one of the Herbie the Love Bug films, which being Herbie Goes Bananas, but, yeah, and he was also in, so he was also in Dirty Harry, and he was also in Airplane 2, the sequel, and best known for being in National Lampoon's Animal House. Yeah, so who doesn't know about National Lampoon's Animal House, even if you haven't seen the movie yet? Come on. It's a classic. Anyways, so yeah, so like I said, he plays this asshole of a cop, and you can kind of tell right away, and especially what happens a little later on, and how another officer, feels towards, Officer Mooney. And the other characters that we see, well, two of the main characters, Mike Tobacco, if I am pronouncing that right, being played by Grant Kramer, and there's also his girlfriend, Debbie Stone, being played by Suzanne Snyder. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, I've seen them before. I know that I've seen Suzanne Snyder from one of John Hughes' movies, Weird Science. Yeah, that movie. So, and so, like, in Crescent Cove, there's a makeout parking area, for the lovers, and, well, at one point, we see this ice cream truck coming up, and it's, the ice cream truck is being run by the Terenzzi, if I'm saying their last name right, the Terenzzi brothers. Rich being played by Michael S. Siegel, and Paul being played by Peter Licassi, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, so them running this ice cream truck and, just getting everybody's attention, the lovers, in the makeout parking area. But, well, it doesn't go too well as they're the teenagers, they're throwing stuff at the ice cream truck. And even when the brothers, they had two chicks in the back of the truck, and they're way on trying to get girls or something like that. Yeah, so kind of doesn't work out so great for the brothers. Especially they kind of kind of tussle a little bit, just arguing. Pretty funny, of course. And then at one point, as Debbie and Mike, about to proceed to snuggle and such, they happen to see, and everybody else that's, in the cars and being parked, a comet going by. And this also gets the attention of a Farmer Gene Green, being played by the late Royal Dano. Royal Dano, he's done, obviously, yeah, he's done some Western films, as I recall, and what I've looked up, researching Royal Dano. But to us Disney fans, and me being one of them, of course, he would be best known as the original voice of Abraham Lincoln for Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln and the Hall of Presidents. Yeah, that's him. So he plays Farmer Gene Green, who did see the comet, and he thinks that it's Halley's Comet, and he and accompanying him, his dog, which he calls Pooh Bear, they go out to hunt down this comet, and the farmer thinks that he's going to be rich and such. But also, Mike and Debbie, they're about to go and investigate to see this comet as well, because where it landed, it's not far where they're at. But when the farmer gets there first, he can see that, well, this was no comet. It's a circus tent. It's a giant circus tent. And when he gets up close, well, it's not just any ordinary circus tent. Even when he turned his back at one point and, kind of walking some more around the tent, his dog got snatched by a clown. And yeah, because he turned his back, because he lost his dog, and he thinks that, someone in the tent, in the circus tent, did something, and he just lashes out, and he even tried to smack the tent, but it's very hard, like hard metal. And even when he tried to grab one of the wires, it electrocuted him. And then at one point, another clown emerges outside of the tent and does something to the farmer. We don't see what he did to the farmer, what the clown did, but we find out later, like, what he specifically did, because we could see that he uses a ray gun. So then when Debbie and Mike make their way to the tent, well, yeah, because they can see that it's a giant circus tent in the middle of nowhere in the woods. And when they go inside to explore the tent, well, Mike doesn't really suspect anything, but however, Debbie is a bit suspicious about the inside of the circus tent, and the further they explore, and when they take an elevator and they see different parts of the circus, well, this is definitely no ordinary circus tent for sure. It's more like they're in a spaceship, and that's what it is, because they basically come into one room where, I guess, the main power is electricity or something running the ship, and they come into one room where we see a buttload of cotton candy being hung, and, well, and obviously the cotton candy in this, that's supposed to be, the aliens' very own, say, cocoons, and yeah. But what's inside of this cotton candy? And Mike's still not suspecting anything. And even when he rips one of the cotton candies, there's a person inside the cotton candy, I guess with blood on his face or something. It might have been the farmer, I don't know. And yeah, even Mike discovers and realizes that, yeah, this is really not a, laughing matter anymore and being fun and such. No, this is serious. And they successfully managed to escape, even when one of the clowns came in, which of course turning out to be aliens. They did quickly, and obviously they quickly discovered that, yeah, they're really not clowns. They're beings from outer space. So they managed to escape outside of the tent and making their way back to the car, while some of the alien clowns are on their tail, and one of the alien clowns taking a balloon and making a balloon animal, and it's a dog, and it comes to life, and basically they had popcorn on them at one point, because, well, one of the other alien clowns, using one of the weapons, shot popcorn, and popcorn got on Mike and especially Debbie. So the balloon dog, tracking and smelling the scent of the popcorn and where they went and trying to go after them, but they they don't succeed as they drive off. And that's when, well, slowly but surely, the aliens making their way further into town. And that's what they do a little later on. But as for Mike and Debbie, well, because going to report this to the police station, and, Debbie happens to know someone at the police station, a friend of hers, and that being Officer Dave Hansen, being played by John Allen Nelson, whom we saw early on because at one point Curtis Mooney arrested these two punks, Punk 1 and Punk 2. That's all they're credited as. And they were played by Aaron Massentire, if I'm saying the last name right, and Punk 2, yeah, because Punk 1 was played by Aaron, and Punk 2 being played by Danny Kovacs, I think, yeah, I might be saying that right. And for no reason, because the punks didn't really do anything, and you can tell further how much of an asshole that Mooney is. And Danny knows how much of a full-blown idiot Mooney is. How much of a handful Mooney is, I should say. So again, when Mike and Debbie make their way to the police station and reporting this and telling this to Dave, and, well, obviously, Mooney happening to be there and, of course, hearing this, but this doesn't concern him because they're talking to Dave, not Mooney. And Mooney, you know, because he won't shut up, and his comment on all of this. But Dave, I mean, he handles this pretty well. And so, you know, Dave, he has them, you know, guide him to where to investigate this and where they were at. And, well, we find out that Dave used to be Debbie's boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, basically. And Mike, you know, because when he heard that from Dave as they were driving, just, oh, great. And, yeah. But, you know, Debbie, even though, because, you know, she's not in love with Dave anymore, like, you know, she knows that possibly he could believe her, right? And, yeah, so, I mean, who else could she have turned to? You know, and all she can turn to is just, you know, her ex-boyfriend Dave, who, you know, luckily happens to be a policeman, so, yeah. So then but, however, before they proceed back to where they were, the location of where that, you know, non-ordinary circus tent is, Dave insists on dropping Debbie back at her house, and that's what they do. And, yeah, as much as Debbie doesn't like this, well, you know, but at least, and just in case, and, you know, for her to be safe, yeah, the men can handle this. Okay, but anyways, so, well, when they do make their way to the location on where the tent was, well, it's not there anymore. It's gone. But it did leave a giant hole. And, like, if that's not obvious and if that's not really noticeable, I mean, yes, Dave can see the giant hole, but really? Does that not make you suspicious as to why there would be a giant hole? Seriously. And then, like, Dave, he places Mike under arrest by putting him in handcuffs, and because, of course he doesn't believe at first, and, you know, because of Mike's involvement with Debbie and, like, you know, what he thinks at first, you know, the story that she made up and just, yeah. But, again, the giant hole! Seriously, is that not really suspicious? I don't see why it wouldn't be. Seriously. But anyways, and coming back to the alien clowns, well, them making their way further into town in, Crescent Cove. I'm pretty sure that's how it is pronounced. Crescent? Yeah, I don't see why not. But anyways, and yeah, the mayhem that the clowns cause in the town, well, because some of the clowns going to this convenience store and, you know, in fact, because, yeah, the guy running that place being, you know, freaked out by the clowns, it's pretty funny. But, and by the way, because to mention the other cast of characters and, you know, the clown performers, yeah, there's a lot. And, you know, luckily, because, you know, they're just credited as clown performers. So the clown performers, they were played by Steve Rockhold, Michael Harrington Burris, yeah, Gino Ponza, I hope I'm saying that right, Scott Betty, I think I am pronouncing that right, Paul Haley, Dennis C. Walsh, Jeannie Houdini, that's a name. That's one heck of a name for sure. Jeannie Houdini. And there's also Charles. Oh, and Charles Scioto was. Okay. He played this. So one of the Scioto brothers played this one specific clown. I will not mention until we get to near the end of the movie. Okay. So yeah. And as for the other clown performers, well, that's great to see that for IMDb, and I'm pretty sure for the movie itself, that Charles Scioto, playing one of the clowns, he's the clown that he plays is one specific clown. But as for the other clowns, who cares? But besides, I'm pretty sure we all for this movie we have our favorite, looking clown in this. For me, I don't know. I think it's a tie between the small clown and the tall clown with the red hair. Just, if you know which ones I'm talking about. I mean, especially the little clown who has green hair. He has a lot in this movie. So yeah, and the moments that he has, which yeah, of course I'm going to mention the stuff that the clowns do in Crescent Cove. But anyways, so for the other, to name off the other clown performers, Herod Blank, Carl Schaefer, yeah. Paul Parsons, Jimmy Locust, yeah, Mitch Bryan, and Greg Skies. And there are two that I see that are uncredited, Scotty Gelt and Brett Leonard. So yeah, just wanted to name off all the clown performers. Yeah, and I try my best to at least name off most of the cast members. But anyways, and to name off some of the other characters, because there's also Bob McReed being played by Christopher Titus. There's Stacy being played by Irene Michaels. Tracy being played by Carl Sue Kroll. Yeah, I already named the punks. Mrs. Franco being played by Adele Prume. Mr. Myers, yeah, this guy, yeah, the guy running the convenience store. Mr. Myers, with supplies and stuff like that. Mr. Myers being played by Howard Malpez, yeah, and Mom number 1 and 2. Okay, they were played by Karen Raff, Kathleen Stefano, yeah, and Little Girl being played by Claire Bartle. Oh yeah, because there's one moment which I'll get to. Because so taking a break from naming the rest of the cast members of this movie, the stuff that the clowns do in town. Well, as I said, some of them going into this convenience store, terrorizing and, just having Mr. Myers in complete shock. And say when the small clown, he's riding a bike and he, comes face to face with these bikers. And yeah, some of the bikers one of them being credited, Black Biker being played by Melvin Thompson. Well, because he's black, so anyways. And one of the bikers, but how is he supposed to know? But still, risking his life, where, he asks the little clown if he can ride his bike, but the little clown refuses, no. But then he asking the clown if he can honk the horn, and go ahead. And well, instead of honking the horn, breaking the bike literally, and then the little clown, he jumped up in the air, then came back, and now he has boxing gloves, and literally punching the biker's head literally off. And this, of course, freaks out the bikers, and they know not to mess with this no ordinary clown, and little do they know it's actually an alien. So all of them scattering, and what the other clowns do, well, getting their victims, well, some of them, like one puts on a puppet show, and then revealing itself, and with the puppet still in the clown's hand, well, the puppet having a ray gun and shooting the victim, and, well, the victim turning into cotton candy. He's inside of the cotton candy, and, well, yeah, because with the ray guns that they use, they shoot cotton candy, and basically, as I said a little earlier, like, the cotton candy in this are the cocoons, holding their victims hostages and so on. And even, like, at one point, we see two clowns, like, knocking on doors, one delivering pizza, a bunch of clowns pop out, and the small clown popping out of the pizza box, and then one clown who delivers, like, a box of chocolates or something, and yeah. And then, like, one clown who makes his way to a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, I assume, yeah, a fast food restaurant in Crescent Cove, yeah, which being Big Top Burger. It's a circus-themed fast food restaurant, yeah. Well, as I mentioned them, mom number 1 and 2, and the little girl being played by Claire Bartle, yeah. The little girl happens to see the clown right outside of the restaurant where, like, a little playground is, and the clown, like, playing games like peekaboo, and having the little girl come over here, luring the little girl, and we see that behind the clown's back he was gonna whack her with a hammer, but the little girl's mom was quick enough, and little did she realize what was actually happening. And did she even notice the clown? I guess not. And, you know, telling her, back here, young lady, you're not going anywhere till you finish your food. And even, like, before that, because we hear the moms talking about how not fun the restaurant is. What? It's not the same as when they were little kids? I don't know, probably. That's my guess. And the clown, because when the mom stopped the little girl, it's the clown, just a close-up shot of the clown. And I gotta say, because to talk more about the clowns actually being there on screen, again, fantastic. The way they're designed, and the way they look in this, very cool. And their clown uniform get-ups and such, and, you know, with the lip movements and the eyes, and I think, yeah, the ears, really cool. And their teeth, yeah, and the way they speak, well, I mean, they don't speak English or anything, just, you know, just, yeah, that's pretty good. And, yeah, so, you know, a bunch of other crazy things that happen in this movie, and no doubt because there's definitely some laughs that this movie delivers, because, well, most notably for the clowns and what they do and how they get their victims, you know? It's terrifying, but at the same time, kind of funny, just how it's done, how they do it, basically. Anyways, so coming back to Mike and Dave, because, well, when they make their way back they drive off to where the tent was, but when they make their way back where the cars were, well, something's off, literally. Nobody's there, and the cars, like, there's a bit of smoke and such. Dave investigates, and he comes up to one car that has cotton candy inside, and he discovers and realizes that, yeah, probably Mike was not joking about this. And he even sees someone's glasses inside of the car. And not to mention, Mike and Debbie did point out to Dave that, John Lombardo, John Lombardo, uncredited John Lombardo being played by Johnny Martin. That is whom we saw at the beginning of this movie. Yeah, because, well, wearing glasses and, you know, crossing the street as Mooney was just watching him. Yeah, so John Lombardo was mentioned by Mike and Debbie, and thus Dave discovering that, well, you know, he found Joe's glasses, and Mike was probably not kidding, as well as Debbie. So thus, you know, they're going to do something about this, however they can, and yeah, to go ahead and come up to this one moment, because I'd like to point this out because I didn't mention this at the beginning. I only had seen a little bit of bits and pieces of this movie. You know, very few scenes. The one with the burger fast food restaurant, and with the clown luring the little girl, and this one that I'm now going to mention, where at one point these group of people are waiting at the bus stop, and a bus passing by, and when the bus passes, we see that one of the alien Klowns is there, and the alien clown getting the group of people's attention and putting on a little show for them. Shadow puppets, and very impressive shadow puppets. Like one of an elephant and one of, people on a boat, da, 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 that whole thing. And, well, Mike and Dave, just happen to, show up and drive where the clown is, and Mike pointing the clown out to Dave, and thus they observe watching what's going on, and at one point, one shadow puppet that the alien clown, the one shadow puppet that he makes is a dinosaur, and with a glowing red eye. And then, the dinosaur shadow puppet snatches and gobbles up the group of people. Mike and Dave seeing this, and to quote their lines, Mike saying, "Holy shit!" and Dave saying, "I don't believe it." Yeah, he sees it. Now he fully believes. Now he ought to, and such. Because he saw it with his very own eyes. Not just Mike, but Dave. And because Mike was freaked out, grabbing the wheel and trying to ram the one alien clown, but it managed to jump in the air very quick and escaped. And it's nowhere to be seen. And at one point, Dave, he rings up Mooney back at the police station on the radio. And by the way, because Mooney was receiving a couple of calls about killer clowns, and because he thinks that this is, pardon my French, but it's true, he thinks this really is all complete bullshit. And yet he doesn't believe in anybody who starts ringing. Several phone calls come in at the police station, and he does, at one point a little later on, he does not answer a single one. Obviously he did answer a few, one from a woman and one from Mr. Myers at the convenience store, because the clowns are still at the convenience store, and the stuff that they trash and they look at. Even one of the small alien clown, sneezed some, perfume powder or whatever. But, even, the small alien clown sprayed some, shaving cream or something on another clown. But that was funny, of course. So, yeah, just Mooney being a complete dickhead he thinks that everybody in the small town is in on this. How would that be possible? You really think and suspect immediately? It really shows that he is a complete jerk, and just, no bother rooting for him anyways, and if by any chance he would survive, and it is obvious, even I knew this before, because I saw, again, with the little bits and pieces I had seen of this movie, I already found out what happens to Mooney, and even when I did finally watch the movie and knowing what Curtis Mooney was like, right away, and you can tell that he is bound not to survive. And yeah, that's what happens a little later on. So again, Mooney receiving calls from everybody in town, and at one point, because when there's several phone calls coming in at the police station, he does not answer a single one. And not to mention, because he thinks that, the brothers, Rich and Paul, they're in on this as well. They're responsible, just, God. But, and with Dave, and because now he believes, and how can he convince Mooney? What's the point? And, well, because Dave was wanting Mooney to call up extra police forcemen, police forces, to come in and to help out and such. But Mooney, of course, is not doing anything. So, yeah. And let's go ahead and come to that. What happens to Mooney? Well, one of the clowns makes his way into the police station and confronting Mooney, and Mooney, well, of course he can see the clown right there, but he thinks that, this is all a joke and such, and even when the alien clown, I gotta slow down, when the alien clown offered him a flower, a yellow flower, and, well, the flower squirts water. Well, it's harmless, but yet Mooney is still, is about to, threatening at the alien clown that, I gotta shoot you and such, but it's just water. What's that? Seriously? What's that gonna do to you? And even when Mooney has had enough, and he puts the handcuffs on the alien clown, however, the alien clown escapes when his hands come off. and obviously Mooney suspecting that probably they're just like fake hands or something. And the clown making his way into the room of the jail cells, and we see the two punks. The two punks are still in jail at the police station, and, well, Mooney making his way inside and having the alien clown go into a jail cell, and, well, at one point, the alien clown, a party blower and such, using it, and it basically makes a hand, grabbing Mooney by the neck and knocking him out, having him hit the bars, and, yeah. And then the clown alien turns to the punks, and there's no way that the alien clown would let them off loose that easily. You know what I mean? And when Dave makes his way to the police station, actually before that, he dropped off Mike, because Mike saw where Rich and Paul were, the Terran Z brothers, with the ice cream truck. He saw where they were at and had Dave drop him off there, and so he can make his way to Rich and Paul and getting help from Rich and Paul. And, well, because, Mike determined to get to Debbie's house. And when we come back to Debbie, because, well, so far she's doing okay at her home. But with the popcorn that was still attached to her and to her jacket and such, and her, disrobing herself, taking her clothes off. She's about to take a shower. Movies from the 80s, and when some of them had shower sequences and seeing characters disrobe. It's true, but I thought I'd mention that, because, yeah. So her taking off her clothes and getting in the shower, bits and pieces of popcorn, and little did she realize that, yeah, popcorn was still on her. And something about this popcorn from the alien clowns, like, I was wondering to myself while watching the movie, what does it specifically do? And apparently, because in connection with dumpsters and garbage cans, what for? Because we see that the clown who was still at the fast food restaurant, he reached into his bag and put some popcorn in a dumpster, and even the people at the bus stop, the clown doing the shadow puppets, the people were okay. He had them in his clutches, but he put them in the bag that had popcorn. Well, something ain't good, and what the popcorn's gonna do. Even when an employee at the fast food restaurant putting some stuff in the dumpster, and he's hearing some noise in a dumpster, well, whatever it is that comes from the popcorn and that's in the dumpster, grabs and gobbles up the, poor, simple employee. Poor him. Just, didn't do anything. He didn't really deserve that, but, So, yeah, again, Debbie taking a shower and with the popcorn in a garbage can in the bathroom. And, with Mike, coming back to Mike, because meeting up with Rich and Paul, things are not going pretty well for Rich and Paul, and, because they unfortunately lost the two girls and such, but, Mike telling them the whole story on what happened and, asking for their help, and Rich and Paul, they think it's a joke. They don't believe this, of course, and, their comments saying that, and they say we're the crazy ones. Yeah, so knowing Rich and Paul so far in this movie and what they're like. But, Mike just convincing them to help him no matter what, and tricking them into saying that Debbie has two chicks at her house, roommates, and, Rich and Paul, they're now interested in asking if, they like ice cream, and Mike saying that they do, and Mike also pointing out that they have big boobs. Now, that's something they like, so that's something they like to hear, and thus, they do it. So, thus, them making their way to Debbie's house, and coming back to Dave, because him making his way back to the police station, and, when he gets inside of the police station, he can see on the floor, there's some footprints, apparently, because the one clown alien who made his way into the police station left some footprints. And Dave, following the footprints, right to the jail, the room of the jail cells, and he can see more cotton candy, and, yeah, it's obvious, he can see that the two punks, they did not make it, unfortunately. That's a shame. And then when he comes back into one of the offices, he can see that Mooney is there, but also the alien clown. The alien clown, by this point, of course, having Mooney held hostage and, drew some black lines and some red dots, like basically a ventriloquist dummy, yeah. And Mooney interacting with Dave, but through the alien clown. And when the alien clown took his hand out, well, obviously, by then, Mooney had already been killed, and that's unfortunate, but you know what? He had it coming. He had it coming. Not rooting for this guy, you knew that this was bound to happen. If only he had known what was really going on, and maybe if he could have had a change of heart or something, but nope. It's one of those movies with one of those characters. How unfortunate. So, Dave coming face to face with the alien clown, and, well, at one point, Dave's trying to shoot and take down the alien clown, like, first at the chest, nothing. But when Dave shoots, again, at the clown, this time at the nose, it pops. And apparently, that's what kills the alien clown. And Dave discovers, and as for us audience, we discover that the only way on killing these aliens is by shooting and popping their, clown noses. And yeah, basically, because how we see the alien clown being killed after the nose clown is shot and pop, like a little bit of a spinning and a little explosion, and that's it. So yeah, now Dave knows, and thus Dave leaving the police, actually, because he did ring up for backup and some reinforcements, reaching to someone by the name of Jack. Jack is credited, isn't he? I don't say, because some of the, the state troopers, calling up the state troopers, because some of them being credited, they were played by Stephen A. Jones, Armin Stover, Jeff Yesko, I named them. But someone by the name of, isn't Jack? No, apparently not. Well, and also, because I mentioned with the whole shadow puppet thing, shadow puppet dude. Okay, that's how he's called, and well, he's uncredited. Shadow puppet dude being played by Randy Doak. I assume it's one of those people at the bus stop, more than likely, but anyways. So again, Dave calling up for the state troopers, and well, someone by the name of Jack, interacting with Dave, and well, luckily for Dave, some reinforcements will come in. But right now, because, well, Dave, he has to find and meet up with Mike and Debbie and such. And when we see Debbie again, and by this point she's done in the shower, well, what was from the popcorn and emerges out of, say, the trash can, from the toilet, and from the bathroom mirror, you open it and cabinet of bathroom supplies. These, these aliens that are being born, and it's just their heads, them attacking Debbie, and Debbie trying to fight off against them. And when she makes her way out of the bathroom, her coming face to face with all the other alien clowns that show up. One of the alien clowns tricked Debbie right outside of the door, saying that, it's Debbie, it's me, Mike. Altering the alien clown altering his voice, tricking her. Oh, that was good. And thus, well, some of the alien clowns surrounding her, and, oh, you think that, even I was kind of thinking of this, is she gonna be turned into cotton candy, being side of cotton candy? Well, no. What the alien clowns do, and the one tall alien clown with red hair, using the ray gun, using it on Debbie, well, it's not cotton candy. She's, trapped in a yellow bouncy ball. Well, at least she's okay in there. It's just like I don't know, a cage or something, but either way she's okay. At least she's in that, and thank goodness it's not cotton candy, because cotton candy being worse than this. So yeah, she's now being held hostage by the killer clowns, and by the time when Mike and Paul and Rich, they make their way there. Well, by this point, yeah, the alien clowns already have Debbie, and nice to see that Mike quickly realized that, yeah, Debbie is being held hostage by them and is inside that yellow bouncy ball, and thus they chase after the alien clowns. A little car chase that happens, you know, from the ice cream truck chasing the clowns, and with Dave in a police car on Mike, Rich, and Paul's tail as they're chasing the alien clown. Kind of funny, and especially because, you know, they really can't drive that fast in the ice cream truck. Not to mention, they point out a little later on that it's rented. So, yeah. And then at one point, one of the brothers tells the other to stop the truck because of a police car behind them. Well, Dave is not chasing after them, like having them to pull over, but how are they supposed to know? And thus, Dave tagging along with the other three in the ice cream truck, and well, even at one point, they did see that a bunch of other alien clowns are emerging and basically having everybody in the town, almost everybody, I'm pretty sure. I mean, the movie really doesn't establish how many of the, you know, people of the town were held hostage and captured by the alien clowns. But overall, we see that a buttload of other alien clowns with the gadgets and, you know, alien technology they have, and with the vehicles, and them scooping up the cotton candy, and any human that they missed, shooting them, and them turning into cotton candy. Yeah. And, well, thus, how to locate them, you know, if they were a clown, where would they end up? Well, at a carnival, and they just so happen to discover that the alien clowns have are making their way, and have made their way to a local carnival in Crescent Cove. Yeah, because a carnival that's there, and obviously by that point, the alien clowns' ship, their ship, well, clearly, because, you know, it first landed and made that giant hole in the woods, and, well, the ship moved to the carnival, and without anybody realizing. You know, and not to mention that this movie takes place all in one night, and just, yeah, that's it, because not daytime, you know, it's all nighttime in this movie. Well, you know, and that's very fitting that the setting of this movie all taking place in the evening time, and again, the fact that this movie takes place all in one evening. So, anyways, so then making their way to the carnival, and, well, as the alien clown's very own clown car shows up, and, well, a security guard being there, and telling them that the carnival is closed, and the security guard being played by Dave Pell. I think I did pronounce his last name right. And, well, sure enough, because the alien clowns coming out of that small clown car, well, how they take down the security guard is, well, throwing pieces of pie at him just endlessly. And, well, this causes the security guard to collapse. But what did all those pieces of pies do to him? Well, we do find out, and when the Terran Z brothers and Mike and Dave, they all arrive at the carnival, well, they can see, you know, because where the poor security guard is being covered in pot, but I think it is also ice cream, I want to say, because the little clown with green hair put a cherry on top. Of course, you have to, because after all, clowns and just, yeah. Anyways, they happen to discover and see that apparently, well, obviously it's no ordinary ice cream, pie, whatever. Apparently, it's acid, and literally down to a skeleton, the poor security guard. Jeez. So them making their way inside of the tent, which of course being the ship, and Mike recognizing the various, like, sections of the ship that he and Debbie saw when they first discovered and went inside of the ship. And the further we see in the ship, like, there's like a ball pit, or there's like, say, you know, like, I guess like a man-eating plant and a bunch of other things that you would sometimes see, like, whether if it's a circus or a carnival. And at one point, the Terran Z brothers they separate. They're accidentally separated from Mike and Dave. They end up in a ballroom pit. Yeah, ball pit room, I should say. And they come face to face with these two alien clowns who are supposed to be girls, and they ask if they're Debbie's friends. Obviously, they're not. And, oh boy, like, what's gonna happen to them? Well, we see a little bit later on, but anyways, so, you know, because they're separated, well, still, they have to continue on. Mike and Dave, proceeding on through the ship, and up until when they come into the same room that Mike and Debbie was in, where the cotton candy is, and Dave getting to see this, of course, and, well, they have to look for one of those bouncy rubber balls, and Mike did remember that, yeah, it's yellow, and it doesn't take them too long to find the bouncy yellow ball, and they can see that Debbie's in there, and having trouble trying to rip it and such, but Dave, has a solution using his police gun, and he does so, and it worked. It was actually very easy to do. And when he fired it, it just popped, yeah. So, and Debbie, she's completely okay. Again, and as I stated, just being held hostage in a rubber ball, and that was it. So, you know. And even Dave was, like, Mike and Dave, they were like, I think, yeah, one of them just hoping that they can save anybody else who could possibly be alive. Like, you know, aside from the cotton candy, because, you know, they're done for, those that are in the cotton candy, but possibly in the rubber balls. Or if it was just Debbie in one rubber, and was just the only one in a rubber ball. I mean, yeah, but unfortunately, they don't save anybody else. And them trying to escape, and even when the alien clowns are on their tail, they're chasing after them through the ship, and all the sections of the ship that Dave, Mike, and Debbie, you know, go into, and, you know, what they come face to face with, and still, with the alien clowns on their tail, and having another balloon dog, you know, sniffing and, you know, tracking down Mike, Debbie, and Dave. I forgot to mention this, because when Mike and Debbie escaped, and they were driving in the car, and the first time they encountered the alien clowns, and them running over and hitting some of the alien clowns, even running over and popping the one dog balloon that we saw early on. Jeez. Well, just, what can you expect, you know, because it was a dog balloon, and even though it was alive, just, you know. Okay, so anyways, continuing on, because, well, and to speed things up, well, with the climax, approaching the climax of the movie, one room that Mike, Debbie, and Dave enter in, and, well, they're surrounded by most of the alien clowns, but luckily, the Terran Z brothers show up in their ice cream truck. However, they got their ice cream truck inside of the tent. Well, they found a way, and basically they use the microphone, and because there's a clown head on top of their ice cream truck that's rented, you know, pretending and, you know, distracting the aliens that, you know, to not harm them, Mike, Dave, and Debbie. Yeah, so them tricking and distracting the alien clowns, and some of the alien clowns whom we see, like, you know, they're kind of like, I guess, shocked or something, and it's kind of working, and, well, because they make their way through the alien clowns that were surrounding them, and them getting up to the ice cream truck. But then, all of that is interrupted. Oh, and by the way, because, yeah, like, yeah, because the Paul and Rich, the Terran Z brothers, they survived, and they're in their ice cream truck, and, well, they weren't killed by those two female alien clowns, and we see that, they made out with them, because there's lipstick on. I don't think, because we need, like, good thing we didn't see that on screen. Just, oh god, were they okay with it? I mean, at least they made out with females. Just, I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, so again, all is interrupted when something big is happening, and, well, all of the alien clowns leave the room, and, well, basically the big boss arrives, and, yeah, as I mentioned early on, one of the Sodio brothers, Charles, one specific alien clown that he plays, well, is the big boss, the one in charge, and, yeah, and the clown that Charles plays and is the big boss and whom they come face to face with is Clownzilla, the King Clown. Yeah, that's how he's named, and what the heck, just, what better name for the main big boss, and just, anyways. And the way, because Clownzilla, the King Clown, coming down, and he's on strings, like, I guess a marionette, but he detaches himself from the strings and trying to attack our main characters, but, unfortunately, well, Clownzilla got a hold of the ice cream truck and threw it, and well, and even when, Dave, Mike, and Debbie, they got out of the ice cream truck and they moved away from the ice cream truck, and the Terrence Z brothers, they weren't leaving that ice cream truck because it's rented. Oh my gosh, your lives are more important than the stupid rented ice cream truck, seriously. But unfortunately, again, Clownzilla grabbing the ice cream truck, throwing it, and when it crashes, well, an explosion happens, and that's the end of them. Or at least that's what we think at first, but until I get there. So now, Mike, Debbie, and Dave are the only three left, and, well, Dave having Mike and Debbie leave and get out of the spaceship, and while he distracts Clownzilla, which he successfully does, just getting its attention and having Clownzilla focus on him. While Mike and Debbie get out of the ship, they manage to get out of there on time, and, well, not to mention, the ship is about to take off. The wires detach, and yeah, and even right when the reinforcements, the state troopers arrive, more police officers and such, and, well, with the ship taking off and the design of the tent, and with it taking off, the spaceship, it's like a spindle or something. I know there's a specific name to it, but I'm sure you know what it is. Like, the string, you pull it and it spins on the floor, something like that. So it takes off, and, well, Dave still being in the ship, and, coming face to face with Clownzilla, when at one point Clownzilla, obviously, should have seen it coming, grabbing Dave in its clutches, and, well, Dave, and because by that point, the weapons that he was using, the police weapons, they were out of bullets, and, well, the only thing he can do, and to aim for Clownzilla's nose, is using his police badge, throwing it, and it pops, and he succeeds, and the Clownzilla about to be killed and to explode, and that's what happens. And with Clownzilla's explosion, that causes the ship to explode as well. And not to mention, and good thing that they witnessed this too, the state troopers, the reinforcements, they got to witness this too. A spaceship about to take off, and yet it explodes. And, well, it seems like there's no real chance that Dave could have survived, right? And let alone the Terrence Z brothers. Well, something from the ship crash lands right at where Mike, Debbie, and the police officers are at. The clown car, and, well, the police officers prepare to, fire their guns on if it is a clown alien coming out of the car, and, well, no, it's Dave. He managed to survive. Boy, was he quick at finding a way to survive and being in the clown car. But that's not all. Something else crashes, and, well, the Terrence Z brothers are okay too. How did they survive? And Mike, telling them that, he saw, and us, and everybody else did too, and us audience, that the ice cream truck, the rented ice cream truck, it exploded. How? Well, apparently, and according to them, they hid in the freezer. They somehow survived in the freezer, but couldn't have that exploded as well? Well, who cares? Either way, all of our main characters are okay, and they survived, and everything's okay now. A happy ending, or maybe, because, Debbie was wondering if it is official that the clowns are defeated once and for all, the alien clowns. Well, bits and pieces of pie, ice cream, whatever, land on them, smack down right at their faces, and maybe, possibly, that's the end? Who knows? And yeah, because that's how the movie ends, right after pieces of pie, ice cream, splat right on their faces. Yeah, man, what a great way to end the film right there. And I'm not sure, because if that's the movie's way on, like, leaving off, like, on a cliffhanger or something, like, you never know, because in this movie, if all of the alien clowns were defeated, that's the thing. But yeah, overall, it was a funny and good way to end the film right there. Yeah. Killer Klowns from Outer Space. What an interesting film this is. And just where this movie was going from beginning to end, and with these aliens in this movie. The story was pretty interesting. The characters, the casting, the practical and visual effects, and, with the clowns actually being there on screen, really well done. The music and score, it was pretty good too. The intenseful stuff and the way that the alien clowns attack and kill their victims, because with cotton candy or anything else that they use, just, yeah, very interesting. But especially creative, without a doubt, definitely. And just again, from beginning to end, this movie is interesting, and you know what? I don't see this being a disappointment, and for anybody who has seen this, and that goes for me too. Killer Klowns is a memorable, Halloweenish film, I guess you could say. It's definitely one of those movies that's perfect to watch around Halloween time. And hey, as I mentioned early on, Spirit Halloween having some Killer Klowns from Outer Space merchandise, and if you've seen some of that stuff too, so yeah. But yeah, just overall, Killer Klowns from Outer Space is a really good classic late 80s film, a perfect Halloweenish film, and I guess like it could be right up there being a really good film, with aliens and such. And yeah, but yeah, just overall, it was not a disappointment. I really liked it. It was pretty good. And I'm giving Killer Klowns from Outer Space, yeah, it's on my mind. Yeah, and because how much I think this is pretty good and not a disappointment, I'm giving it 8 out of 10 stars. Yes, 8 out of 10 stars for Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And what about you guys? What did you think of Killer Klowns from Outer Space itself? Were you just, like, fascinated and interested on what this was like and not what you were expecting when you watched this for the first time? Do you like it? And any moments in this movie that are some of your favorites? And which are some of your favorite specific-looking clown aliens? Like I said early on, everybody, no doubt that everybody has their favorite-looking clown alien in this, and I've already stated a few of mine, but yeah. Just, yeah, from beginning to end, like, yeah, what do you think of this movie and where it goes, and with the unexpected moments and how the alien clowns, how they come face-to-face and attack and kill their victims, having some of them being held hostage, most notably Debbie. And have you seen any Killer Klowns from Outer Space merchandise at any store or say at Spirit Halloween? Yeah. Just overall, what do you think of the movie itself, and with what I've had to say, my review, and yeah, what did you think of my review? Leave comments and give this review video a like, as always. And so, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Killer Klowns from Outer Space. More review videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video / review. And of course, continuing on reviewing Halloweenish films on the weekdays. Stay tuned, because the next Halloweenish film I'll be reviewing, well, to best describe it, let's just say Robert De Niro plays the monster. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Again, stay tuned for that. Take care, and peace out.